It's great to be with you all, and I want to thank Jamie and the whole Spring Mountain team for the opportunity to share more about Keen Decision Systems. Keen Decision Systems is a next generation SaaS marketing mix solution, and it is designed to help marketers measure, optimize, and improve the impact of marketing investments across channels in real time. My technical co-founder, John Busbus, and I started the company back in 2010, and we felt this pain ourselves early in both our marketing and analytics careers. And we really started to grow exponentially when we partnered with Spring Mountain back in 2019 with our Series A raise. Since then, we've grown the business from 2 million in ARR to 10 million, and we have tremendous opportunity going forward. So with that, I want to share more about the background of the market that we're operating in, the marketing landscape, and how that's changed over time. How Keen's value proposition is positioned to help marketers make better decisions, and then what that's meant from both a historical performance perspective and how we're navigating the next 18 to 24 months. And we are subscribers to the Camel strategy, where we are looking to drive growth, continue to drive growth, but do it through capital efficiency, conserving cash, really keeping an eye on expenses with an eye towards profitability in the next 18 to 24 months. So starting first with the evolution of marketing. So I started my career as a consumer packaged goods brand marketer back in the late 90s. I had P&L responsibility. I had responsibility for deploying big marketing budgets. And honestly, in the late 90s, it was much easier to build marketing plans. So there were very few options in terms of traditional channels like network TV and radio and print. And it was there weren't a lot of options to measure performance. So we had traditional marketing mix consulting, where we worked with Nielsen and IRI to basically take a bunch of time series data, run a kind of metric model, and provide us with ROIs looking back for the last 2 years for all our marketing programs. Obviously, that's not very nimble, not very agile, and it's not very timely in terms of being able to influence the next decision. But basically, marketing planning at that point was an annual process, and you set the plan, and then you forgot about it until the next time you planned. That all changed with the emergence of digital channels in the early 2000s. It really it got a lot more complex and a lot faster pace with digital channels. There was also a lot more data. So at that point, marketers completely abandoned marketing mix consulting and went to attribution, where they could actually track the consumer journey across digital touchpoints. The problem there is that that process completely ignored all the traditional channels that marketing mix had covered. So it wasn't giving you an omni-channel full perspective on how marketing was performing across your business, and it wasn't connecting it directly to the financial outcomes, revenue and profit that marketers are being held accountable for. And since then, we've seen an exponential amount of fragmentation in the last 10 to 15 years. More digital channels, the emergence of e-commerce channels as sales distribution channels, and now every single retailer out there, from Walmart, Target to Amazon, obviously has their own media network. So you have budgets that are often declining, not growing, and you have more channels, and you don't have a lot of visibility to a lot of channels. So marketers are flying completely blind to all of these very fragmented, very difficult, very thousands of decisions that they have to make, with no accountability and understanding how those decisions are impacting their top line, bottom line, and how it's building value for the brand. To make it even more challenging it's the external environment. So in the past, we would build a marketing plan at the beginning of a fiscal year. We'd start to execute that plan. That plan was based on certain external factors and environmental factors that you would assume. The minute that any of those factors change, your plan is basically obsolete. And in this case, over the last 3 years, marketers are facing unprecedented times, from a 100-year pandemic to the after effects or after effects of COVID and inflation and supply chain disruption. And then you have your typical category fluctuations in terms of competitive activity, competitive launches, competitive spending, all of that needs to be accounted for, and it's changing very rapidly in today's marketplace. Plus, there's new channels that are emerging consistently. So we continue to see more fragmentation in the digital landscape. So, and media consumption as a result of that changes pretty quickly. So if you've built a plan where, in this case, you're putting a lot of money behind Facebook advertising, and then all of a sudden people start to consume different media types, in this case, native ads, which we see in our system over the last 12 to 24 months, your plan is going to be obsolete here as well. So you have to be nimble enough to know which channels are working, which are not, which are emerging as potential channels to reach consumers in a profitable way, and be able to make those changes on the fly. And you need a system to be able to support that. So marketers are still facing tough questions that I faced in my career in the late 90s and early 2000s before I started Keen. And there's really no good solution. The marketers are still using traditional methods, attribution, marketing mix, and trying to answer questions that they're being held accountable for. So quantifying decisions. How do I link my marketing investment decisions to financial goals? How do I optimize to make sure that the next dollar that I'm investing is driving the greatest return? And how do I account for all these external factors that may impact how I invest, where I invest, and the impact of my investment dollars? The good news for us at Keen as well is that there's more pressure on marketers to be accountable to these decisions. And interestingly, 62% of CEOs and CMOs underneath them are under pressure to show results. 65% say that pressure is increasing. And interestingly, still only 34% of marketers can provide an ROI for their marketing investment spend. And a big reason for that is that marketers are still using archaic, old school methods to try to track performance over time. So amazingly, they're still using traditional marketing mix, consulting through Nielsen and IRI and other consultants. They're using attribution studies that only give you part of the story, and they're delivering that through consulting services delivered in Excel and PowerPoint. 70% of marketers are still using Excel to track their marketing performance. And this is what creates the opportunity for Keen. We address this pain point. We give marketers the information that they need at their fingertips based on the latest information, not only to understand past performance, but more importantly, optimize in a predictive way and linking those decisions directly to financial outcomes. So this comes directly from our customers' mouths. We are a marketing measurement solution with future planning delivered in a software platform, accessible in real time and updated at the speed of data availability. So a couple pieces to that. One, we're comprehensive. As we talked about before, digital attribution gives you part of the story. Marketing mix gives you part of the story. We are omni-channel across all channels. We're reliable and predictive. So we actually incorporate more information into our models. So we have a Bayesian regression. We have a proprietary marketing elasticity engine that brings industry information into models, the best information possible. It's updated through machine learning. So every new data point that comes in our models is feeding our elasticity engine. And then we marry that with all the data that a traditional marketing mix and attribution study would include. And it's all delivered through software with speed, so we can keep up with the speed of the market and give marketers the opportunity to make decisions based on the latest information. So updating models with new information, with new data. We're exploring ChatGPT to get automated data in, further automate data ingestion and insights coming out of our model, so marketers can be guided to a decision more efficiently. And all of this is accessible, obviously, through software. So predictive forecasts that can be actualized and ultimately show the marketer that they're constantly making good decisions to support their business and drive consistent, continuous improvement and better performance over time. So our value prop really gives you everything that a traditional marketing mix would provide a marketer and then some. So historical measurement, all of your historical contributions by marketing channel, ROIs, but we're also providing an understanding of timing impact, long-term value creation, and the ability to influence that through scenario planning and forecasting. So every time you update a model, you can then build a predictive scenario against a certain financial objective, like hitting a revenue target, maximizing long-term value, optimizing a fixed budget, which will come with a prescriptive plan that you could give to an agency to go and execute, along with a forecast for what that would deliver in terms of revenue and profit. And that can be updated consistently as new information becomes available. And we've had a ton of success in building a really strong client base. So currently about $3 billion, we have about $3 billion in marketing budgets that we're optimizing on a continuous basis. As you can see here, the client roster includes not only big enterprises, but we've also, through the efficiency of our software, been able to tap into the long tail and smaller brands as well, which was complete white space in the market. It was cost prohibitive for a lot of those brands to use Nielsen ROI, and we're tapping into that opportunity pretty aggressively. We have over 50 employees now, and the great thing about our value prop is that we can prove that it delivers for clients. So given that we're building forecasts associated with different marketing plans, we can then actualize those forecasts and show how much value we're able to create through the recommendations in our system. And on average, we see about a 25% improvement in marketing performance and improved profitability for our clients in the first year using the system. And as a result of that, we've been able to get some recognition in the marketplace as well. So, starting with being able to raise our Series A back in 2019, getting a great partner with Spring Mountain, we were able to make investments to drive the business, also solidify our IP. So we have patents pending around our marketing elasticity engine, which secures our IP, protects our IP. We've won some awards from the MarTech community. We were able to rise in the ranks in the Inc. 5000 the last 3 years. We anticipate another jump in the rankings for 2022. Most recently, we were able to get SOC 2 compliance, which is opening doors for us with other enterprise companies and outside of the U.S. And then, further investing in our business, bringing on a new partner through our Series B with Ballast Point Ventures back in July of 2022. And what we've seen is an exponential acceleration in our business. So you could see here when we raised our Series A, we were capital efficient, drove a lot of growth, and then we're seeing the same kind of hockey stick growth coming out of our Series B this past year, and we anticipate that trajectory to continue. Our system provides an ROI for our clients, and we look to drive an ROI with investments behind Keen. So you can see our track record here from 2018, just before our Series A, we were about $2 million in ARR. We were bootstrapped at that point, so not burning any cash. Raising the Series A and partnering with Spring Mountain allowed us to make the right investments in the business to accelerate our growth. You can see the growth rates here, even through COVID and the after effects of COVID in 20 and 21. We're able to achieve 40+% ARR growth while burning cash, obviously. And then when we've gotten into 2022 and 2023, we're now looking to continue our growth, again, subscribing to that camel strategy, driving growth while really looking to be capital efficient, monitor our expenses, and move towards profitability, over the next 18 to 24 months. And that's exactly where we are. So next 18 to 24 months, again, we're going to subscribe to the camel strategy. We're going to use capital in a capital efficient way, manage our expenses, and drive sustainable growth, which will create long-term value for the organization and a path to profitability. So 3 bullets. It's about moderate, sustained ARR growth, quantifying a return on every dollar that we invest behind Keen, continuing to conserve cash, reduce our cash burn, and achieve profitability in this window. And again, it's about base hits, continue to put points on the board versus swinging for the fences. So long-term sustainable value creation. again, appreciate the opportunity to share more about Keen, and enjoy the conference. And I couldn't say more positive things about our relationship with Spring Mountain and the support that they provided us over the last 5 years. Thank you.